Insurance analysts with over 20 minutes of experience between them. They rate movies on a scientifically rigorous scale, approved or denied. They watch it, so you don't have to. This is Quality Assured Films.
Welcome back to Quality Assured Films. I'm Mike, and my pronouns are he and him.
And I'm John, and my pronouns are also he and him.
And welcome to our first COVID-19 quarantine episode.
Oh my gosh, Quarantine Assured Films!
Haha!
This is amazing.
We're finally done with our Best of the Decade 2010 series. Hope you enjoyed it.
That was a lot of work. 10 years of film and all those movies. Now we move on to 2020. What do you got up first, Mike?
Birds of Prey. Full title, Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, which I cannot fit that on a trailer template, so we're going to call that Birds of Prey.
Can I help you?
Why, yes, you can. I'm here to report a terrible crime.
And what terrible crime is that?
This one. Ah, shit, I told this all wrong. Quick history lesson. This all started when the Joker and I broke up. It was completely mutual.
The DCU has 3 good films now.
Yep. Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Shazam.
Yes.
And Birds of Prey.
That's right.
Would you say that they're starting to kind of get their shit together as you've asked them multiple times?
Nope. I can't believe that DC made a movie. Get your shit together.
So what'd you think of Birds of Prey?
I really liked it.
I did too. I thought it was a lot of fun. Margot Robbie, Academy Award winning Margot Robbie nonetheless, reprising her role as the lead, the titular character?
That's right. Harley Quinn. She's cementing her place in film canon, really making that character her own.
Soon enough, I was back on my feet, ready to embrace the fierce goddess within.
I don't know Harley Quinn. I mean, I've seen the cartoon versions of her. I know you read the comics.
Her early history as a character was definitely Joker's girlfriend. In the last decade, I would say, the creators who have taken on her character have strived to give her her own identity apart from Joker. And that is the inciting incident behind this movie as well.
And so peaceful. But it turns out that wasn't the only dame in Gotham looking for emancipation.
When I went into this, I kind of went in with no expectations other than it's probably going to be a little goofy and cheesy. And it did have some cheesiness to it, but I was okay with it. It actually worked for me.
It's a wild ride, and I think we wanted people to get a taste of what life could be like when you see it from Harley's point of view.
Let's talk about the rest of the cast.
Ewan McGregor was in this, and there's even a scene where he essentially kind of recreates the Moulin Rouge song a little bit. I forget what song.
Was that during the Diamonds Are Girl's Best Friend homage?
Yes. He was an amazing villain.
Yes, he played Black Mask. The typical characterization of that figure is kind of a gruff-sounding Brooklyn accent gangster, and Ewan McGregor made him a really eccentric narcissist.
I think we can let her go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is that a snot bubble? Ew, gross. Oh, I've changed my mind.
I mentioned earlier that there was a little bit of cheesiness to this movie, but he genuinely seemed like someone I would be afraid of. But he was also hilarious.
He definitely made him a far goofier character than he has ever been before.
People don't kill people I own without my permission. Why doesn't this crossbow guy know that? You know that.
I know it.
Why doesn't this crossbow? Why don't I own the crossbow guy?
You should own it.
I mean, I like crossbows.
Moving on, we talked about her recently, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, or Weinstead, however you say it. I really liked her version of Huntress as the flustered vigilante who's practicing her speeches in the mirror before she goes out at night.
Do you know who I am?
My only history with the Huntress was on the CW Arrow series, so before that I hadn't heard of her. I love Mary Elizabeth. I think it's Weinstead, but again.
Vengeance rarely brings the catharsis we hope for. Yeah.
Are we ready? You blow up
It was really nice seeing Rosie Perez again.
I know, right? Like, this might sound weird, but it reminds me of bands that disappear for a long time and then they come back and they have an awesome-ass album. And you're like, why haven't they been doing this whole time? Like, she just fit right in. And I was like, it's Rosie Perez. I feel like I'm in the 90s again, but it works now.
You're dumb enough to be building a case against him. So, unless we all want to die very unpleasant deaths, we're gonna have to work together.
Sure.
She was doing her best Willem Dafoe from, what's that movie?
Boondock Saints?
From Boondock Saints. There was a firefight!
There was a firefight!
She gets her little moment like that.
The shooter got close before drawing. 6 rounds.
She is playing Renee Montoya, also famous from the Batman animated series, where she's another Gotham detective. In the comics, she eventually becomes the Question, who is the romantic interest of Batwoman. Playing off of her, which was one of the strengths of the movie, I thought, was Journey Smollett as Black Canary. One of the strengths of the movie was showing the systemic violence of the police. Rosie Perez as being like the jaded person that still believes that they can do good, and Journey Smollett as a person that really makes her confront that ideology and rethink her stance. And I thought that was a pretty awesome addition for like a zany comic book movie with this kind of slapstick attitude.
He's after all of us. The kid just robbed him. You betrayed him. You killed his BFF.
What?
You are so cool.
I'm gonna butcher this, but Ella J. Basco was the other standout, and she played Cassandra Cain.
Oh, why can't I remember her?
She was the young thief character.
What are you doing here? You're not the only one who makes money off of dumb rich white people.
This almost was like the movie Snatch, where every character has their own motivation for getting the MacGuffin, which happens to be a big-ass diamond. Her and Margot Robbie really played well off of each other, and I liked seeing that aspect of Harley. I think that actor is Filipino, and what I was reading when the movie was coming out was that a lot of people appreciated that they were seeing that culture represented with her character. So I thought that was neat as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Isn't this fun? It's just like a sleepover. We should order pizza. Big Cosmos. Harley. Okay.
Let's move on to other parts of the movie that you liked.
Okay, I thought it was very clever the way they handled the Joker, or the absence of the Joker in this film. Like, we know in the Suicide Squad, they ended up, spoiler alert, parting ways. And I kept thinking to myself, are they just not going to mention him this entire movie? Or you just keep hearing her say, like, him, oh, him. Or, like, people that are afraid of her because they think that she still has the protection of him. She's Joker's girlfriend.
After the last Suicide Squad movie that came out was such a clusterfuck, most of the people involved kind of washed their hands of it, including Jared Leto, who was extremely upset that his character got so sidelined, even though he was a complete alleged shithead on set.
Oh, how about the gifts you gave everyone? Yeah. Rats, bullets, a hog. Where did that come from?
Don't forget the anal beads.
Who did you send anal beads to?
The used condoms.
He did not.
Yeah.
Jared has gone full Joker.
All of those things are reasons why they did not directly show him or his version of the character in this movie. And I think, kind of to your point, that works a little better. Like, that works in their favor, building up the character of the Joker as a really scary force of nature, and that will serve whoever takes that role next, I think.
None of us are walking out of here unless we work together.
You gotta be kidding me.
The only other thing that I wanted to mention was the climactic fight scene. Okay, so this is spoilers now.
Okay.
In the beginning of the movie, it's set up that she is part of a roller derby team. So the climactic fight scene involves her and Huntress, who's on a motorcycle, using the roller derby skills. She's holding on via a rope, and she's being whipped around on her roller skates, chasing vehicles at top speed. I can safely say I've never seen that in a movie before. Once again, my takeaways from this movie are like, gee, it's almost like if you have a likable cast of characters that you care about, you'll go along for the ride. And if you have a movie made by underrepresented voices, they'll bring some new ideas to the table. Gee whiz, how about that?
Who'da thunk?
Yeah.
It was such a fun film, and again, going in with no expectations other than I thought, whatever, it'll probably be okay, like all the other DC movies. But no.
Turn it up!
Best representation of a breakfast egg melt sandwich?
Oh my god, I
ever?
forgot. Yeah.
Toasted buttered roll.
A bunch of bozos when this first came out were complaining that Harley Quinn's booty shorts from Suicide Squad were no longer here, and there were no gratuitous shots of her bending over to show her full ass on screen. Fucking grow up, people. Yeah. So, what is your final verdict for Birds of Prey?
Birds of Prey, the Immaculation of Our Lady's Sorrow. I would absolutely approve it, and I would recommend it again for anyone that wants to sit back and just have fun and laugh. Yeah, quality approved for me, definitely.
Me too. I would also approve it, and I don't think you need to see any of the previous DCU films. There are Easter eggs for you if you have seen them all.
Right.
But that is not necessary to appreciate the movie, so it is a good time on its own.
Definitely.
Quality approved.
Oh shit, is that a hyena in a bathtub?
I named him Bruce after that hunky Wayne guy.
Well, there you have it, our very first episode in the 2020. Again, check out our weekly episodes where we'll be checking in between these episodes and letting you know what's going on.
That's right. Thanks, John. Send us an email. You can do so at qualityassuredfilms@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram at QA_films and at Facebook, facebook.com/qualityassuredfilms.
Yes, we want to hear from you, please. And we do have all that information in the description below, so check it out.
Stay safe, stay inside if you can, wear your fucking mask. Essential workers, you deserve to be paid accordingly.
Yes.
And thank you to our healthcare workers and volunteers.
Yes, thank you so much. Well, I'm John.
I'm Mike.
And we are
Quality Assured Films.
See you next time.
Bye.